Hi. We're going to have a briefing by the Treasury Department on the market adjustment.
Market adjustment?
That's what we've been asked to call it. That's going to be 9 tomorrow morning. And with that, the lid is full. You can all go home.
CJ.
Bruce.
I've got a source at the Pentagon who says in the last few hours there's been massive troop movement on the Kashmir border.
In the last few hours?
Yeah.
I think you need to get a new source at the Pentagon, Bruce.
There's nothing to it?
What kind of troop movement?
Something like 300,000 troops and a few warships.
300,000 troops?
Yeah.
I think someone's having a little fun with you, Bruce.
You sure?
I was just in the Oval Office 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, CJ.
Thanks, CJ.
Sir, already intense fighting has occurred between Indian troops and Pakistani border garrisons. The ceasefire line's been breached in 2 thrusts, with 5 divisions invading the area north of Kargil and a 2-corps-sized force that's crossed west into Azad.
Bobby, in the past hour, Prime Minister Mohammed has spoke on television saying that after enduring endless provocations and incessant acts of thuggery by the criminal gang running Pakistan, India's forbearance has been exhausted. In the name of peace, India is acting to put an end to Pakistan's outlaw aggression once and for all.
And Pakistan?
They're condemning India's unlawful aggression and pledging all-out resistance.
Well, we've got ourselves a ball game.
Yes, sir.
When do we get the nuclear briefing?
This afternoon, 1500.
3 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Through the Freedom of Information Act.
What kind of information they're looking for?
I guess information about the investigation.
It wasn't an investigation.
I'm sure Josh will mention that.
Did he bring a lawyer?
He said he didn't need one.
Oh, good. I like the sound of this. Hello?
Leo's coming and CJ's already inside.
Thanks.
Hi. You know what this is about?
Yeah? I stopped by your office before, but...
I was at the reception.
Hi, CJ.
What's going on?
India sent troops into the neutral zone in Kashmir. The UN Security Council is going to try to negotiate a ceasefire, but we believe we're going to start to play a role in the next 48 to 72 hours. You can start to brief the press tonight, so I want you in on some of the meetings throughout the day.
Leo.
Oh, including this one.
This happened last night?
Yeah.
That's what you all were talking about when I walked into the Oval Office?
I'm sorry, CJ.
You told me the lid was on?
You don't have to expect that sometimes.
I got the question, Leo. A guy had a Pentagon source. I denied it. I called it ridiculous.
We know.
Is it 300,000 troops?
Yeah.
A couple of destroyers?
And 4 CVEs.
Oh, a guy hit it right on the button. I made fun of him.
You'll tell the room you spoke without knowing the facts.
I guess that's what I'll do.
CJ.
Don't worry about it.
As soon as you tell them India's the story, this is forgotten.
I'm fine. We're across the hall?
Yeah.
His name is Lord John Marbury. He is the hereditary Earl of Sherborne. He is the great-great-grandson of a former viceroy, and for 13 years served as the Queen's minister to either India or Pakistan. Lord Marbury is here to counsel the president, and if you think this is all starting to sound like a Gilbert and Sullivan operetta, I don't blame you a bit.
CJ?
Thank you. Yes.
Toby's here.
Okay. Hello.
I feel that I didn't have the opportunity to properly articulate my argument.
Either I'm a trusted member of the communication staff or I'm not, Toby. What was your argument?
That was my argument.
That wasn't your argument.
It was my argument a little while ago when I was arguing in my head.
Are you apologizing?
Yes.
Well?
What?
Apologize.
I'm sorry.
God.
This is Joey Lucas. It's her assistant, Kenny.
You're running O'Dwyer's campaign in 46.
Yeah.
Sam Seaborn.
Hi.
Debbie Ziegler.
Hello.
CJ Craig.
Hi. I know who you are.
I was just telling her about Kiefer's numbers.
I've seen those numbers. We shared the California polling data.
And?
Kiefer asked the wrong questions. His poll said 80% of the people, when asked if they favored a flag-burning amendment, said yes, which is roughly the same percentage of people who'd say they'd favor sending litter bugs to prison. He never asked them how much do they care.
Please say that you did.
How good am I looking to you right now?
That depends on the California numbers.
37%, or less than half of those who said they'd favor the amendment, rated the issue fairly or very important. 12%, or less than a third of that group, said that the issue would swing their vote. The only place this war is being fought is in Washington.
You're looking very good to me right now.
I thought so.
Good to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah. You have any idea how big you just scored with Toby and Sam right now?
Yes. But still,
What?
I think if you want to have the president stand up and say something about flag burning, I think he should say people shouldn't do it. I think he should say that it's a form of protest that for a lot of people is terribly troubling.
Your poll says that?
I said that. And so do a lot of people. Vox populi, vox Dei.
The voice of the people is the voice of a dog.
The voice of God, Russell.
God. Yes.
I came here with someone.
I'm sorry?
I came here with someone.
Okay, I should go. I have to go.
Wait, will you call me sometime next time you come out here?
Absolutely. I will call in advance of my coming.
It was really good to see you.
You too.
Just because she said she was with somebody?
She said she was with somebody.
Oh, Josh.
Donna, she's with somebody.
She could have just been saying that.
Why would she just have been saying that?
For the allure.
Oh,
Go see her before we leave.
it's 1 in the morning.
Knock on her door.
I'm gonna knock on her door at 1 in the morning?
Yes, because you're whisking back to Washington and you had to see her one more time before you left because God knows what fate awaits you once you get there.
Are you okay?
Gather your rosebuds, Josh.
Donna, I'm not gonna knock on her door. Were you just clucking like a chicken? Was that what that was?
Yeah.
I could knock on her door if I wanted to. I don't have a room number.
Yes, you do. Phone message. Phone message.
Hey, first of all, don't do that thing anymore. The phone message, phone message.
And?
Tell him I'll be down in 1 minute. Hang on, how's she gonna know I'm knocking on the door?
There's a button outside. A light flashes.
Tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Josh.
Al.
What can I do for you?
You know, I got the wrong room.
Oh, I don't think so. You looking for Joey?
Yeah.
Well, she's right here.
No, I'm not. I was stopping to say a quick goodbye. Don't bother her.
Who's out there?
I wanted to say a quick goodbye. We're taking off. And, thank you for talking to us tonight. That was helpful.
She said goodbye.
I know.
Now, one day, I'm going to get called to the Situation Room, and it's going to be good news. We'll have discovered buried treasure. Or it turns out there's life on Andromeda, and they think we're doing a good job. When's that day going to come, Nancy? When's that going to happen?
Settle down.
What do you need?
The commander of the PAC fleet has informed us that he's lost contact with USS Portland, which is a Seawolf-class sub.
What were their orders?
They were running close in a week ago. They were supposed to report in yesterday at 1400. They were going to surface to periscope depth and download and upload deterrence intelligence data.
Well, they've gone quiet. They're a submarine.
Sure, maybe.
But
They usually call in and say they're going quiet.
what are the other possibilities?
That they've lost all power and they're drifting aimlessly in hostile waters.
What hostile waters?
Yeah. The Portland's in the Yellow Sea. Their last location was 60 miles due west of Seoul.
We haven't heard from them and they're in North Korea?
Yeah.
What do we have ready if we need to order a massive and undetectable rescue mission?
We put 2 DSRVs on alert from Ballast Point, San Diego, 2 C-141 Star lifters on alert at NAS North Island, ready to pick up a rescue crew and fittings. They'll meet up with 2 fast attack Seawolves we have stationed off Japan, each carrying 50 Tomahawks. They practice for this all the time, but we shouldn't do it, not yet.
Why not?
Because I think they've gone quiet.
You said they usually call.
They usually do.
I've got to tell the president.
The president's going to hit the panic button, Leo. If the Portland went quiet, it's because somebody's sitting on top of them. These guys know what they're doing.
I'll be back.
CJ, there's 2 Indians sitting in the lobby. They say they're not leaving. There's press everywhere. I just made it your problem.
Indians on the day before Thanksgiving. Wow. Ironic.
Yeah.
Henry, I got it, thanks. Good morning, I'm CJ Craig.
I'm Maggie Morningstar Charles, and this is our tribal counsel, Jack Lonefeather.
I'm sorry about your meeting. Mr. Cutler had to meet with some Northwestern governors about an important problem.
Yes.
It'll be no problem to reschedule the appointment.
Oh, we can wait.
Would you like to step into my office and we can try to reschedule it right now?
We're fine here.
I'm sorry?
She said we're fine here.
Actually, you're not fine here.
Then you can forcibly remove us. I've noticed that correspondents from the Times, Reuters, CNN, and the Miami Herald are here.
And the Washington Post is on speed dial.
This is going to have something to do with us screwing you out of all your land, isn't it?
Yes.
See, I was done.
Yes. We moved from New York to Wisconsin.
Listen, this isn't a good place for this. This is a lobby.
I know what this is.
Yes.
I have a degree from the University of Michigan.
Look.
Miss Craig, if we give up this ground, we lose our 1 bullet in our gun. We need to be in view of the press.
What tribe are you from?
We're Stockbridge Munsee Indians. Like Maggie was saying, when we were moved to Wisconsin, we signed the Treaty of 1856. In return, the government was supposed to protect our reservations, provide education and health care, and we would still be a sovereign nation. But then the Dawes Act came.
You were forced to sell the land?
We went from 46,000 acres of tribal land to 11,000. The Dawes Act was also supposed to civilize us. Henry Dawes said, to be civilized, you must cultivate the land, wear civilized clothes, drive Studebaker wagons, and drink whiskey.
The drinking part was particularly constructive advice.
Now, before we go any further, I should tell you there's absolutely nothing I can do for you.
Imagine our shock.
Yes.
In 2 generations, we'll be wiped out.
So we had to foreclose or sell at 3 cents an acre.
In 1934, the Indian Reorganization Act allowed us to start buying back the land, bad and good, bit by bit.
Why would you want to buy back the bad land, too?
Because the IR Act said if we put it in a trust, like a national park, it would never be taken away.
So what you need is what?
One answer on our CFR 151 application.
I'm sure that's handled by the Department of the Interior.
It is.
And?
We're still waiting for an answer.
These things take a little bit of time.
We've been waiting for a little bit of time.
It's a big interior, Maggie.
We've been waiting for 15 years, CJ.
15 years?
Yeah. So you can see why we don't mind hanging around here for a little while.
Yeah.
CJ?
Yeah.
You guys gonna have anything on Macedonia before the end of the day?
I don't think so.
Okay. What's going on?
I'm just talking to my friends.
Okay.
Have a good weekend, Mark. Have a good Thanksgiving.
I'm Canadian.
Yours is in April.
October.
Oh, to have it be over.
Yeah.
many treaties have we signed with the Muncie Indians?
6.
How many have we revoked?
6.
What were the Muncies doing in 1778?
Fighting in George Washington's army.
And why aren't you in New York anymore?
Because you marched us to Wisconsin.
And whose land was it in the first place?
Ours.
I'm gonna have the park police escort you from the building. It'll take me a few minutes so you can make whatever calls you need to make. Or you can come back to my office right now. We'll make an appointment for Monday and the White House will cover your expenses.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Okay, ma'am.
No, okay, you're...
We'll come back to the office.
How do you keep fighting these smaller injustices when they're all from the mother of injustices?
What's the alternative?
CJ,
Hey, what are you doing here?
listen, I'm missing a reporter.
Who?
Bill Price.
Isn't Billy in the Congo?
Yeah.
Come back here.
He files stories by satellite phone to the New York Bureau at a predetermined time. He's missed 2 deadlines in a row.
Does he miss deadlines?
Not one in 7 years.
What does state say?
It's Friday night, and I'm having trouble finding people.
What about the other end?
I've talked to the embassy in Kinshasa. They're getting into it, but this was the Congo.
What do you think is
I
happening?
think he left the capital.
Without written permission from the ministry?
How would he know he needed that?
By reading state background notes.
Does that sound like Billy?
No.
CJ, the first 15 minutes, they're the most critical in a war zone abduction.
I know.
If we could get them delivered to someone higher up.
Well, I'm gonna talk to Leo.
I know Billy's been a pain in the ass to you guys for 3 years, but he's got a wife and 2 kids. So if you could see your way clear to forgetting about this.
I don't care that he's been... Look, I'm gonna get into this, but if he's missed 2 deadlines, then his 15 minutes was yesterday.
I know.
I'd call his wife.
Yeah.
Leo.
Send them in.
She's with Leonard.
Come in. Everybody, this is McKinnon Leboko, the Congolese attaché.
Makonin.
I'm sorry, Mr. Leboko. You know our situation. We've got an American reporter who we believe was taken by the Mai-Mais.
He shouldn't have been traveling without proper documentation.
The Mai-Mais care about proper documentation, do they?
I beg your pardon?
If his papers were in order, he wouldn't have been abducted at gunpoint?
We haven't been introduced.
I'm C.J. Craig. I'm the White House press secretary. That guy sat in my room for a year. His wife's sitting in my office. His 2 kids are sitting at home, and I want him back.
You think I have him in my briefcase?
This is a shakedown, so tell us how much money and where does it go?
The Congolese government doesn't negotiate with matters.
The Congolese government is a myth.
I can't talk to this woman.
Mr. Leboko, how much money and where does it go?
CJ.
Okay.
Please tell me what's happening.
Janet, we're working some back channels right now. I think if you can make yourself comfortable here, we might have some news in an hour or so.
The government's gonna give these people money?
No, we can't buy them off directly, but what we do is we offer to withhold money from their enemies.
And if that doesn't work?
Your husband is employed by a billion-dollar corporation.
Janet, Miss Carlson would pay whatever.
Ransom.
Yeah.
Well, let's not get that far right now. Listen, your clothes are wet. Can I get you some
No,
dry?
no, I'm fine.
Okay. Okay.
I should stay here?
Yeah.
How's she doing?
She was asking how the money works, and I didn't know. It's not money, actually. It's a promise to honor international sanctions against the export of something called coltan by the Rwandan army.
What's coltan?
It's a mineral they have a lot of in the Congo. When you refine it, it's a necessary component of cell phones and pagers, and the Rwandans and Ugandans smuggle it illegally.
Listen, what do you know? Akin Wamba, who's the Mai rebel commander, sent word through a crew that was filming in Goma.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he was killed in an ambush. Embassy Kinshasa's gonna get the body.
Crossing off the FDR Memorial, the Atrium, and the Folger Library. I like crossing off lists. It's very satisfying. You like lists?
Yes.
You like crossing things off?
I'll let you know if it happens.
Hey, how'd you know what hotel I was at?
We have you watched when you're in D.C.
Are you serious?
No.
Good.
We always have you watched.
Uh-huh.
So you know what I was thinking might be fun?
If I came to the White House dinner and shut the hell up?
That's not what I was going to say at all.
What were you gonna say?
If you came to the dinner, wore a beautiful dress, and shut the hell up.
I got a list of 9 former I Corps commanders who served in Korea who say that landmines aren't necessary to protect our troops anywhere.
We're aware of all 9.
And we have, doing that, other weapons that are more effective and less deadly to our side that are already part of the U.S. response plan to the North crossing the DMZ.
I work in communications.
And landmines would actually slow a counter-invasion. Do you have an answer to any of this?
President of the United States requests the honor of your presence, and I'm sorry, but you show up.
And I'm sorry, but I tell the truth.
Not every minute of the damn day, Tabitha.
I've seen what I've seen, and I've been told what I've been told, and I have an audience with the person who can do something about it. To smile for a photo op and recite 64 couplets on the American experience, that's treasonous.
Can we stop with the drama?
Toby,
Tabitha, you don't know what you're doing. This isn't kid stuff. If you stand up in the president's face, that's going to be the story, and nobody's going to care about what you care about. Nobody is going to care about what you care about. And it'll be bad for you, for us, for the landmines, everybody.
Can we just not talk for a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta give a lecture tomorrow night at Georgetown. I need to not talk for a minute. There was a man in Banja Luka that I met. He took his son and I to go fishing in the Sava River. And the little boy hooked a piece of garbage. And when he tried to take it off the line, it blew him up. Right in front of his father and right in front of me. What happened tonight? I decided to highlight poets who were never chosen poet laureate because they were too rebellious. Adrian Rich, Anne Sexton, Allen Ginsberg. Then I went into Howell. I know Howell like, you know, voting districts. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness. Starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through. And then, what? I couldn't remember anymore. I couldn't, I couldn't remember anymore. I think that an artist's job is to speak the truth. An artist's job is to captivate you for however long we've asked for your attention. If we stumble into truth, we got lucky. And I don't get to decide what truth is.
I don't like the guy. I'm voting against him. What doesn't make sense?
You're embarrassing the president.
He's got a margin of 533 votes. Must have a pretty low threshold of embarrassment.
It's grandstanding, Congressman. It's a cheap and easy way to get your name in the paper, only it's gonna make you look eccentric, like some kind of goofball crank.
I beg your pardon?
You're not embarrassing the president. You're embarrassing yourself.
Look.
You want the president's backing for anything you might actually want to accomplish this term, as opposed to pulling pointless little publicity stunts. You'll swallow hard whatever petty animus you bear toward the guy about to be the #2 man in your party, and you will give your president what he wants. A unanimous confirmation.
My petty animus is that Russell's not good enough, which is exactly what you've been saying to each other around here ever since his name was announced. You think I don't know how you got rolled on Berry Hill? Or forced to settle for this party hack? You've put someone second-rate next in line to a president with a serious health problem. You want to talk about embarrassment? Be embarrassed about that.
The North Koreans have canceled the pool spray at the sound check.
Okay.
He doesn't like people around when he's rehearsing.
Sorry.
Talk to Thiel.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a plan B.
The VP intro is finished?
Will's doing last touches.
Help him out, will you?
He's got it handled.
He was having some trouble. Look it over, punch it up.
Yes, sir.
Sir, something happened today at the briefing. I got questions about the economy, and I felt like I was tap dancing.
Saw it. I thought you were fine.
Deft. Extremely deft.
As much as I appreciate your attempt to compliment me out of my point, I'm starting to feel a little self-conscious about our lack of vocabulary to describe the economy.
Didn't you get the bagel memo?
You could argue the president's got a responsibility to do it. Setting a positive tone conceivably helps bring about positive results.
It's not that I want to don a shroud. I just think the Pollyanna Act's not wearing well. Sir, I'm worried that at some point, avoidance starts to look like maybe we just haven't noticed. We run the risk of appearing out of touch, like one of those presidents who doesn't know the price of milk. Sir, do you know the price of milk?
Not precisely.
Neither do I. Do any of us?
Okay, let's get on coming up with a language plan for talking more realistically about the economy. That session this morning with the advisors, everybody's got a magic lever they want you to push. I've studied economics all my life, but in this job, only a fool is ever certain. You don't push any one lever. You want to push a little on them all.
From every theory in moderation.
Exactly. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Hey, Mr. President.
CJ. These negotiations are the real thing. I can't allow this defection. I know you disagree, but that's my decision.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's not that I disagree, sir. I'm disappointed.
We'll get someone from state to tell the kid.
No. I'll do it.
Sorry.
It's my call. I tell him. She okay?
I don't know.
Hey.
Hello.
Got my ass kicked a little bit ago by Thiel.
The Russell vote?
Yeah. It was in front of Richie Rich.
The Pierce kid?
Thiel's gonna be everywhere.
The Republic will stand.
I'm gonna do damage control. I'm gonna leak it that Thiel wanted it.
The vice presidency?
Yeah, make it just look like peak.
Second-term congressman from the smallest state expecting to be named VP?
It's really gonna soup like a crackpot.
God, don't ever get mad at me.
I've gotten mad at you.
Yeah, why it's better when we don't talk. Come by tonight, we can not talk some more.
It's with abundant pleasure and pride.
Surpassing. More altitude.
Still tweaking? The prompter guys needed the disc a half an hour ago.
No way.
It's with surpassing pleasure and pride. Blah, blah, blah. Robert Russell, blah, blah. Confirmed by overwhelming vote as befits this distinguished choice.
Distinguished.
Want to use surpassing again?
Eminent. Illustrious.
The DARPA budget.
I thought it was classified.
Apparently not. It's on the internet.
Hoisted on their own petard. Any word back from the DOD?
Not yet.
There's a man in your office.
Okay.
I didn't see him come. I turned around, and he was there.
A man in my office. Is he dashing?
Not how I describe him.
Can I help you?
There are no firewalls on here.
Excuse me?
I could certainly do something with this.
Or I could call security to do something with you.
Oh, sorry. I'm Dr. Max Milkman from the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency.
Dr. Milkman?
Yes.
The man from DARPA?
Yes.
I've been reading about you. Operation Midnight Climax, setting up brothels, creating and testing LSD on the patrons without their knowledge, of course. Talk about a mind-blowing experience.
Please, Ms. Craig, that was ARPA.
ARPA?
ARPA, not DARPA.
Well, I can't tell you how comforting that is.
General.
Glenn, good to see you.
Mr. President, it's good to see you. Just like a fraternity reunion. Where's the keg? Or maybe better break out the bingo instead. Shut up, Bess. Come on.
Come in. You know President Newman?
Mr. President, we've met before.
Oh, yes. So, what are you up to these days, Glenn? Vouchers? School prayer?
Actually, it's more like dog walking, and of course, my spin class.
I'm surprised you're not looking for another place to bomb.
I'd like to make an impression.
Well, you certainly did that. But why should I complain? I'm sure it helped precipitate the current situation.
Maybe I should have taken a longer vacation.
And let him wage war with the rest of the Arab world?
To think I heard you were one of my biggest fans.
The old formulas don't work, DW. We need to make new choices. Glenn, the protesters are surrounding the Aramco compound in Duran.
What do you think, Glenn? Should we invade?
We need wholesale change in the region. This is an opportunity. We're the only superpower left. Why wouldn't we go into Riyadh?
The more of the world we inhabit, the better it is for the human race.
Buck stops here.
Ah, yes, the almighty dollar. In my 4 years, we spent $200 billion on foreign oil and $100 billion protecting the leaders of the countries that supplied it. How many lunches did I have playing footsie with some Saudi prince, promising to sell them AWACS and Bradleys, and all in the name of stability? But I paid a premium.
His people hate us.
Of course they hate us. Because we support their oppressors. Because we are their oppressors.
Glenn, I'm not sure we have the stomach for empire.
I'm not looking for empire. I'm not looking to colonize. If this protest is a call for democracy, I think we should create a provisional secular government, oversee the transition, and get out as fast as we can.
Leaving them with a weak state and a hated Vichy government. You really want to make a difference, Jed? And support this Arugina from the sidelines. You start saddling up camels in every country in the Middle East, then you better be prepared to spend the next 50 years sifting through sand. Because this isn't a quick run on the beach, Jed. This is the new world order.
Mr. President, we're ready for takeoff.
Thank you.
It seems you're happy enough to publicize your work on micro-nano cameras, gecko fingertip adhesion, something delightfully nicknamed smell-o-vision.
There is the brain-machine interface program. It measures the processes in the brain in hopes of detecting deceptive intent.
So not mind control, mind reading.
It's all part of a new counterterrorism initiative, and the heart of our strategy is biosurveillance. We're mining existing health databases to determine...
You're looking at medical records?
It's totally anonymous.
You'll have social security numbers, addresses, personal data.
Just for the Human ID program.
Human ID?
Human identification at a distance, where we use a variety of biometric technologies that focus on body parts, face identification, human kinematics.
Kinematics?
Oh, yeah. It's amazing what we can tell from a human stride. Personality, intention, pathology, criminality, all from scrutinizing one's gait.
Yeah. I gotta go.
Who will vote with him now and replace him later.
That's not you?
Wish it were. He's a giant. But my allegiance to the eccentricities of a case will reliably outweigh my allegiance to any position you might wish I held.
Let's talk a little about what the Judiciary Committee's concerns would be. We can safely say reproductive rights are going to come up.
They're going to say judicial activism, particularly in jewelry.
How would you address that?
And you're who?
I'm sorry?
Who are you? We're playing committee?
This would be coming from one of the 11 Republicans on there, Mitchell
You can only
Davies.
be one.
We don't really need to.
If you're Webster, the question is, where do you stand on Roe v. Wade? And the answer is, judicial rulings shouldn't be based on personal ideology, mine or anyone else's. If you're Davies, the question is, how would you approach a DNX case? Because he's the drum banger on partial birth. And the answer is, I don't comment on hypotheticals. If you're Malkin, you're from Virginia, so you ask an Ndrori, I take you point by point from the doctor to the father to Casey, to undue burden, to equal protection, back to Roe, at which point you can't remember the question, and I drink my water for a minute while you regroup.
Will you excuse us for a second? I love her. I love her mind. I love her shoes.
We march her to 5 senators' offices. They'll be so scared they'll beg us to put Shelton on the court.
Sorry. You were vetted by the FBI when you hit the federal bench, but if we reopened an investigation...
But I'm a shill, right? Why would you bother with a background check?
Humor us.
If there's anything they didn't find.
Let's see, in high school, I snuck a copy of Lady Chatterley's Lover out of the public library and never returned it. In college, I got a marijuana plant from my roommate as a birthday present. And in year 2 of law school, I had an abortion. Can I get some water while you regroup?
Okay. Okay.
I tell you this so you'd be prepared. It might not come up, but if it did, I wouldn't comment.
But if they know, it'll be hard.
Roe v. Wade affords me the right to terminate a pregnancy, and to do so free from all restraint or interference of others.
A hearing room...
I'm told I have a right to privacy. I think this would be the sort of thing it's referring to. I also bet like a drunken sailor during my bi-monthly games of hearts. Do you want to talk about that?
An abortion?
All the gin joints in all the world.
Maybe they won't find it.
Oh, they'll find it.
Yeah, but who's gonna bring it up? The committee? They'd look like monsters.
They don't have to. Someone leaks it to the tabloid press. It's a feeding frenzy in 12 hours.
She says she can handle it.
Oh, okay.
Well, we need her. She's the cautionary tale. Without her, we may not get Shelton.
You been outside today? We don't hand someone to the madding crowd so they can take the heat off some guy from Indiana.
Woman is... You should hear her.
What? So she is a serious candidate?
She should be.
She's going to be on posters under a headline that says, wanted for the murder of 15 million American children.
Let's think about this.
Let it go.
No, really, nominees live or die by Roe v. Wade. We're playing along with the ridiculous notion that the Supreme Court is a single-issue body in a way it hasn't been since, I don't know what.
Slavery.
Exactly. So she had an abortion. Who the hell are we?
You think I like this? You keep this up, someone's going to take it to the press, and this bright woman is going to be a checkout counter spectacle. Get her out of the building.
Brad Sheldon could work for us. I like him.
So talk to him this afternoon. He's going to start getting calls.
Who else?
Wisniewski's a good maybe. The majority leader's really pushing him, and Barkin from the 5th, though, he has a question.
It's a tax thing. We're looking into it.
You still having a love affair with Evelyn Lang?
No. Robert Brandt.
How come?
She won't make it through vetting.
Why not?
She had an abortion.
Robert Brandt's on the 9th Circuit. Stan Yancey's worked with him and says he's always kept his
When
cards.
did she have an abortion?
Law school.
Before or after?
After 73, it was legal.
We discarding anybody else for illegal activities?
Not yet.
Tonsillectomy? We down on surfing this year?
She'd be publicly eviscerated.
27 million women voted for me. I think they might have had in mind that I was going to protect this particular right.
We have...
I like
plenty
that guy from Florida with the good hairdo, but I want to retain my right to choose. I'm voting for what's-his-name, married to Abby Bartlet.
Sir, they're going to make this about her objectivity?
We promised the committee a short list by Friday. I want her name on it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Mr.
That pisses me off.
Apparently.
We marched her around here all week. The honor of a place on the short list is the least we could do.
We're still going with Brad Shelton.
Our Siwi Odanak, far from the things of man. When Jed first took me to his house, which is 25 miles from anywhere, he said, Our Siwi Odanak, far from the things of man. What a jackass. I'm gonna open the wine. The wine is a 95 Old Vine Zinfandel from Hogg's Cellars, which once belonged to King Boda of Belgium, and his best sip while making anagrams out of the phrase, my husband's an enormous jackass. Amy, what are you looking for?
Anything I can take notes with.
This is an excellent corkscrew. Just slides right in there like power steering, the right tool for the job. The corkscrews suck. Should I call a steward?
No, we don't need to call a steward. I'm board certified in thoracic surgery. And a good thing, too. Did Josh have a nutty on the campaign hiring?
He's adjusting.
Well, let him adjust faster, jackass.
Excuse me.
Oh, Donna.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Josh was looking for Amy.
Well, she's right here. Where have you been all night?
Well, it's a little tough to explain, ma'am.
Tougher to explain than secretly prescribing beta-seron?
It turns out I'm not an American citizen, so Secret Service wanted me to talk to INS.
What?
I was born in War Road, Minnesota, only I wasn't because INS just clarified the border and it's now in Manitoba.
You're not an American?
I missed it by 4 miles.
You seem pretty calm about it.
No, I'm very upset. I don't know the words to my national anthem. I've been throwing out Canadian pennies my whole life. I've been making fun of the Queen. We don't do that.
I'm sure it'll all work out.
Thank you, ma'am.
Where are you going?
They've let me into the party now.
Why don't you stay and have some wine with us?
Really?
Yeah.
That's very nice of you. Probably shouldn't drink, though.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Canadian, huh?
Yeah.
You feel funnier?
No, but I am developing a massive inferiority complex.
Ah. Did it come out?
Next best thing, it's in the bottle.
Well, decant it.
Yeah, now it's a party.
Yeah.
This is a good bottle of wine. It's almost made me forget how much cork I swallowed from the first bottle of wine. I don't understand. It was good corkscrew. Graphite.
TJ.
Stop talking about the corkscrew.
Yeah.
Mrs. Bartlett, I wanted to ask you a question, but I'm not sure how.
What?
Well, if the most they can give you is a year's suspension, is it
that big a deal?
Yes.
Yes. I'm a doctor. It's not like changing your major. You, of all people, women talk about their husbands overshadowing their careers. Mine got eaten.
Your husband got eaten?
My career?
Yeah. Well, I'm on dangling modifier patrol.
What's your problem?
Are you First Lady right now?
What are you talking about?
Sometimes you like to talk, and I think that's great, but sometimes you're Abby, and sometimes you're my boss, and I respect both very much, but...
I'm Abby.
Yes, I agree with her. Look, they take this job away from me, I've got nothing. I don't have a cat. I could get one, but I don't have one. Frankly, I'm not wild about cats. I don't hate them, I'm just not. I could learn to like them, I guess if I...
TJ?
You've got a husband and children and a home and a life, and we're talking about 1 year of your not having a medical license.
Jed got censured, and that came with no tangible penalty, and it was a banner headline, he's having a slow, nervous breakdown.
That's different.
Why?
Because it is, and you know it.
Okay, I'm First Lady again.
Okay.
You are First Lady, Abby?
Yes.
And it's not like it's been a detour from healthcare.
No.
What, you've expanded Medicare to cover mammograms, cancer clinical trials. That's money that could have gone into Viagra. You were the one who said no dice to cutting infant nutrition programs, nursing home standards.
There's plenty of stuff left.
Child immunizations, juvenile diabetes.
That's not the point.
What's the point?
I'm a doctor.
Oh, Mrs. Bartlett, for crying out loud, you were also a doctor when your husband said, give me the drugs and don't tell anybody, and you said, okay. Oh, my God. You switched back to First Lady.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Bartlett.
It's okay.
He took the censure standing up, Abby. I was very proud to have voted for him that day.
Me too. Let's get back to the party.
I'm saying, if he vetoes the bill tomorrow...
How many times do I have to tell you
He's
it's
vetoing the amendment. We'll make that clear.
It's still a veto. It's not like Congress will forget in a week.
Could be an icy reception for the State of the Union.
I'm still not clear about the pardons. Maybe the First Lady could explain it.
He's not pardoning LeSueur or any ex-governors. He's strictly granting commutations where minimums and guidelines have resulted in unfair sentences.
Yeah, I've been trying to say that, but...
When pardons are rumored, lobbying takes on a life of its own.
There's no chance he could delay.
Hey.
You're straight from the airport.
Welcome to hell. So, Congress forced our hand with a crime bill.
And the president wants to run into the fire and issue pardons.
Plenty of lemons. We just can't find a recipe to make anything out of them.
I said hemlock. Actually, I think the president's instinct is right. We don't run away from this. We pack his veto of the Hicks Amendment and his policy-based pardons in with the State of the Union.
Make it more than just an isolated speech.
Yeah, he can come out for gay marriage and the military at the same time.
I'm serious. I say the president announces his veto on the eve of the State of the Union. The next morning, his pardons become Act Two of respect for federal judges and prelude to his trip to the Hill that night, which now is more than hat in hand begging Congress for a laundry list of priorities. The State of the Union becomes a few words about his agenda from the president, who, as you've seen, is a busy guy.
It's the closest thing I heard to what the president wants. Can we pull it off?
At least we come out swinging. Well, we own the news, courage of our convictions.
Republicans will still try to demagogue us with these pardons. Maybe we focus on the most sympathetic cases. Personal stories will make it less abstract.
I gotta keep writing.
Josh, I need you to hone this list of commutations to a perfect few. I understand Justice has given some 30 names to council.
36, we're taking a look to.
We need poster kids, former and future altar boys and girls. Are they all doing time for crack?
Not all, but we're talking mandatory minimums. That means drugs. You want 10 names?
5 or 6. Remember how they're gonna look in the Times photo, and let's spare many recidivists.
The First Lady called to remind you of your invitation to New Hampshire for President's Weekend. She doesn't want to pressure you, but they won't take no for an answer.
You don't have to be pissy.
This is not pissy.
Donna, it's a huge risk for the president. We have to call the list. We have to be brutal.
These 36 people haven't been called enough out of thousands of applicants. Forget that they've all been in prison for at least 5 years.
For committing crimes.
Still, they submitted petitions to justice that took 2 years to inch from desk to desk. None of them are violent, although by now I would be. None of them have priors. A lot of them, their judges spoke at their sentencing against the harshness of what they had to impose.
Doesn't mean we stop scrutinizing.
Scrutinize away. You tell me, do we toss out Daisy Ames, mother of 3 with 2 jobs, had a boyfriend who stored a kilo in her closet? She's done 8 years and is facing 11 more. That's longer than rapists and child molesters get. There's about 15 Daisies in here. Do we pick 3?
Donna.
You haven't read these files or looked at these photos, and I don't blame you. I wish I never had. But I don't see a list anymore. These are people. If you want to call them, jump in, I'm done.
Is she waiting outside?
She is. But honestly,
No.
sir,
She took the bullet we all managed to dodge. Show her in, please.
Okay. Come in.
Mr. President?
I understand you have a message for me?
Yes, sir. I promised Mrs. Kaler I'd do my best.
What did she say?
She said her son, Donovan, made a terrible mistake when he was still a teenager. Doesn't excuse anything, but her divorce was very hard on him. By the time he went to trial, the shock of his arrest had given their family a wake-up call. Donovan had completed a drug treatment program, finished high school, and been accepted to college. Unfortunately, the guidelines prevented the judge from considering any of those things. She said after Donovan finished 1 year in prison, missed 1 birthday, 1 Christmas, 1 fly fishing season, the other 6 years he spent in Leavenworth have been a frozen hell. Her words, a frozen hell. She's someone who copes. But she said if it would make a difference, she'd get on her knees.